reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
Take a breath, look deep inside yourself, and talk to Bear. Then, listen.
If only I could look inside Bear's head, see what she's thinking.
Probably something like, "Hey, get out of my head."
That's not funny.
Happiness mode engaged.
Hello.
Welcome.
Ready for action.
Happy to meet you, hero.
Glad to have you with us.
You'll find everything you need here.
Hail, traveler.
Wake up, you motherless Edens. It's time to go.
I'd offer the traditional pirate's greeting, but your spleen is better unperforated.
You're listening to Guild Wars Reporter on the MMO Reporter Network, brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/MMOReporter and by Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon at doghousesystems.com. Welcome to another episode of Guild Wars Reporter. This is episode 184. I am Celeste, and as always, I am joined by the amazing Allona.
Hello, beautiful Celeste. Yay. 'Cause you are.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. Let's make things awkward right off the bat.
So, speaking of awkward, what'd you do in game this week?
Play awkwardly? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, at least when you and I were playing together in Guild Wars 1. That was funny.
Why do all these things? How do I pick up stuff again? Well, we'll get to that. First off, I obviously continuing. It's a bit of a broken record. Fractals. I've been doing a lot of fractals. I have my Agata resistance up to 129. My reward level or fractal level is 49.
Yikes.
Just last night, we went in and I was able to complete all of the daily fractals, even champion, and not be carried through. Like, legit did them and not like go in with like heavy hitters that protect me. I was just able to do's them.
That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. We actually talked a little bit last night. We were wondering if dailies like this for other, like how, there's dailies for PvE. Now there's dailies for fractals. It would be interesting if there were dailies, like dungeon dailies. And they were thinking about doing stuff with dungeons. That'd be kind of cool.
That would. I'm not sure something like that would be on their radar to be implemented, considering they've said like, oh, we're just going to look at rewards and that's pretty much it, because nobody's working on dungeons.
That could play into the rewards part of things, though, because that's really true. That's what really dailies are. They give you a today, and I mean with fractals, because they're so quick, there's a fair number of them. Like with dungeons, you could do like one dungeon or two dungeons, but a specific path. Sort of thing. Like you wouldn't have to have like a huge number of them. But anyway, when we were chatting, something that came up.
I like it.
Yeah. For Saturday's guild night for Mock, we did Fungin. We did fractals, and we did missions. It was a 3-peat.
Dang it.
Did them all. Now, we didn't do all the missions, obviously. Like, we just did the easy ones.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. But, the trek was actually Crab Scuttle in Southsun, and Key came on, and she had never done any of the races, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
So her first race was Crab Scuttle, and so she did really well. Like, she came in after I had already finished, so, and Saint was on as well, and so we basically, tried to protect her.
Right, yeah.
From stuff.
As long as you have escorts, it's not really a bad one.
It was tough. It was pretty tough. There's a lot of screaming. But not in anger, just like, oh, what's happening?
Right. Confusion.
Yes. I did some more of the hot story on my alt, on my Necro, I think I'm doing it on, I said last week. So that was just me and Hunter, I think, this last time. And then #Hunter, Panther and I did some of the season 2 achievements last night. And I think # was able to get 2 of them. And I only needed 1. And so dodgy crowd, got it done. We'll go for you. We'll help you.
Yeah, I need like 2 or 3 from that same instance, actually. But dodgy crowd has always been like impassable for me.
Yeah. I got an angle, Charlie. An angle. We have a system. So
okay.
I mean, it's still, because dodgy crowd is like one of the last things you do. It's frustrating if you don't get it because you have to do everything prior. It's not a huge, like, it's not super long, but it's still, if you have to do it multiple times, it's like, meh. I finished off all the masteries in Tangled Depths. I went through and looked through my achievement pane, and I saw there were 2 of the strong boxes I was missing. So I looked where they were and did some investigations.
Yay.
And I found them. One of them, I think, it was one of the ones I couldn't get to because you need ley line gliding to get to it.
Oh, yeah, I still don't have that either.
So, actually, ley line gliding, it's not really a game changer the way lean techniques are, or advanced gliding, whichever one gives you unlimited endurance for gliding. But it's fun. It's more flavor, I guess.
Yeah, I could see that.
So when I got Dodgy Crowd, actually should have been moved up the list. I also procced my 19.5 chest.
Nice.
Chest. Yeah. It wasn't like a big deal one, but it was nice. Yay.
It means you're well on your way to your 20K.
20K. I've never had 20K anything. Ever in the history of the universe have I ever had 20K anything. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Understandably so. You know, in a couple of years, I'll say I got my 20K chest.
Well, okay. Obviously, I have more karma than that, but, you know.
Well, you've been working towards it pretty steadily.
Yeah. Earlier today, I hopped into Guild Wars 1 with you. And I went on to my 5-year-old pre-searing level 1 Necro. Yep. Level 1.
Yep.
After 5 years, because that's how little I played. But she's now level 2, and I'll let you go into what we're doing with that.
Okay.
And I think that's about it. And tomorrow oh wait, no. I do have one other thing. I forgot to write it down here, but I saw my note. So at Tequaddle last night, and Hunter's made fun of me that I think on the show even or other places, but I like, if someone has a fun name or an interesting name, I'll tell the group, like, oh, there's a person here named X or Y, and it's hilarious or entertaining in some fashion. Either good, sometimes bad.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, but I find it notable and I comment, and Hunter makes fun of me for doing this. And often what he will do is he'll just randomly call out someone's name to point out how silly it is. Last night he does this. You might be too young to actually get this reference, but there is a character, he goes, oh, look, over here, it's Laverne DeFazio. And I just about died laughing because it was a play on Laverne DeFazio from Laverne and Shirley.
Okay.
And I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. So I whispered the person and told them, your name is amazing. And they were like, most people don't get it. They were so happy that I got the reference. And I said, do you have a Shirley? And they said, I have another character who has a bear named Shirley. So I'm like, well, by trying to make fun of me and inadvertently commenting about an awesome name, someone got a compliment and they were very happy.
Yay.
So it all like in your face. It's good to point out good names.
It is.
And tomorrow I am back to work. So I was off for a few weeks here convalescing, and I am now, the doctor says, you got to go back to work. And so tomorrow I'm back to work. and I'll have less to talk about after this.
And I'll have a sad in the morning, so I'll be able to play games with you during the day.
Yeah, we didn't do it an awful lot, but it was always fun when we did.
Well, because, yeah.
Things. Life.
And things.
Things and life.
Yep.
So, Celeste, what did you do this week? You have more than 2 bullet points.
I do. This is true. So you and I were playing... Well, you were playing Guild Wars 2, and I was going to go ahead and pick up the daily boss. So I was like, all right. And we did that, and then you switched over into Guild Wars 1 with me, and we were working on Legendary Defender, which is where you stay in pre-searing, but you get your character up to level 20.
Yes. And it used to be insanely difficult. It's more just grindy now, right? Like, they made it a little easier.
You get a unique quest that you can do every day, and that'll give you 1,000 XP.
Mm-hmm.
So that's huge compared to what it was, where you was just like grinding.
Yeah, death leveling up the mobs and
exactly.
Which, if people aren't sure what that
means.
means.
Sure. Death leveling, it generally was happening north of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is you'd go up to the mobs you wanted to kill, and you'd basically die. You'd sack yourself or just make them one-shot you.
Sorry, I got a different visual from that description.
You'd do that until they were up to or above your level so that you could gain experience from killing them.
And death leveling, people would also use it for pets, too. The ranger pets. You would death level your ranger pets so that they leveled faster.
Pretty much. And basically just had them kill stuff.
I never did any of that because it seemed overly complicated to me.
I did it all the time.
Okay. I'm a simple person.
No, I played a lot of Guild Wars 1.
Yeah. I meant to do /Age when I was in. Oops.
Oof. I don't even want to think about it.
I did /Age in Guild Wars 2 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It's over 4,000 hours.
Dang. I'll be honest, I'm not sure I've gotten up above 2,000.
Yeah, I'm bad.
I don't stay logged in like I used to with Guild Wars 1 just to chat with people.
Okay.
So my Guild Wars 1 number is inflated because I, hang out with people the whole time.
How dare you be social in an MMO?
Well, this was before voice was really a popular thing anyway, so we'd sit around and we'd type at each other.
Furiously.
Type. Message suppression is a terrible thing when you run into that. Just FYI. So we did some power leveling. I was trying to get you up a bit north of the wall.
Yeah, I wasn't able to stay on too long, but I got to level 2.
Yeah. And then Blaze joined me and we went up north to get char carvings for the presents for today.
Ooh. For Nicholas?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he gained 2 levels like nothing.
What? It took forever for my 1 level.
I know.
And I had played before. What the heck?
It went really well, actually, once I remembered what the heck all the skills did.
Yeah, it was... it was a gong show.
It was a serious gong show with you and me.
Well, you were better than I was. You do it more frequently than I.
This was only my second day logging into it after, a few years.
Yeah.
So there was some mistakes made for sure. And I worked on the Heart of Thorn story on my Necro just a wee bit. I think I only did maybe 1 or 2 steps.
What race did you go through with the first time? And
Sylvari.
And this time Necro is what?
Sylvari.
Oh, so you won't notice any differences because you're doing the exact same race.
No, I won't really notice anything yet, just because...
Oh, and before... I completely just Oreo'd what we did this week.
What's up?
Relics of War has it's a pen and paper game that is using modified rules from this other game system to be based in Tyria in Guild Wars 2. And they are recording the sessions and they're going to be putting them out. I don't know whether they're going to be After Relics of War podcast or standalone little bits to showcase pen and paper game. And they asked if I would be in it as well. So I have a character in that, and we played Friday night.
Cool.
So it's the Desundra system that's been modified. It was just like, I couldn't remember if it was going to be part of the podcast or a standalone kind of production. But in any event,
I've never heard of that system, so...
not that I know a lot of game systems by any means, but it's really nice. So far, I really like it.
Cool.
Standalone episodes, Hunter's saying.
Very cool.
So keep your ear to the ground for that one.
That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
So we live stream usually on Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. EST, 6:30 p.m. PST at twitch.tv/MMOreporter. You can subscribe to the audio version of the podcast on iTunes and or Stitcher. Remember to rate and review so that people know that we do podcasty things.
Or random things.
And, yeah, next week, just FYI, it's just going to be a gameplay stream.
Yep.
That's what's happening.
And so far, the plan is to do Guild Wars 1 streaming, possibly Eye of the North.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
That sounds fun.
I kind of want to get my Guild Wars 1 game up so it's not a complete gong show, but I think it'd be more fun if I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you gotta wonder. It's like, do you want it to just be really fun, or do you want it to actually be informative?
Oh, it's not going to be informative. No way, no how.
No way, no how. All right. Okay, so then maybe just fun.
Just fun.
Think we're ready for another attack?
From land, air, or sea, we won't be caught off guard again.
Report from Lion's Arch.
Long live Lion's Arch.
Of course, this being a Tuesday, and recording on a Tuesday, we're talking about today's patch notes.
Indeed.
They weren't super long, so there's not a huge amount to talk about. Under balance, bug fixing, and polish, they touched on the raids, Salvation Pass. Berg, Narella, and Zane have found some new tricks and can now escape from the prisoner's cage if they get stuck. I'm presuming that's a bug. Or was a bug.
Was a bug, I assume.
For General, the squad UI now displays the number of members currently in the squad. Awesome.
That is nice.
Now, I thought it was supposed to do that before, but I thought that was, oh no, it was in World versus World. It would show the supply for the commander.
Ah, yeah, that's a big difference.
I was getting them a little bit confused, but this is a really nice quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly because I've done Tangled Depths metas a lot more than others. You know, you have to go through and count all the people in your squad, and you're like, we have X number of people if the squad leader can just see. They don't have to count in their fingers and toes. Longbows and short bows wielded in the preview are now held in the left hand. This is to be consistent with how your character will actually hold the bow in the world, and...
That's good. Weapon preview for wielded actually works now. That's a good thing.
I remember previewing bows, and you know how a lot of times the bows have like a hand shield area that has some sort of design or something on it?
Mm-hmm.
And it was always on the other side, and it never occurred to me, like it always seemed reversed.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it was the preview that was... you can tell I don't play bowed characters very often.
Not often, no.
In World vs. World, Gil claiming Cloaking Waters reduced stealth duration from 1.5 minutes to 1 minute, also fixed a bug that allowed the fountains to be destroyed, preventing them from providing stealth to allies. Seems important.
Very.
Fixed a bug that caused keeps to mark nearby enemy players incorrectly.
From the Black Lion Trading Company gem store, there are new items and promotions. The total number of bank tabs allowed has been increased to 14. 2 additional bank tabs can be purchased in the bank UI or in the upgrades category of the gem store for 600 gems each.
I'm so excited. So excited. I am maxed out. I've been forced to sell precious hoarded materials. And now I can just get expansions.
You know, you have like other alts. You could have just had somebody be a mule.
Nope. They get played enough that I can't do that.
Seriously?
Yes.
You couldn't have them use one bag.
No. There's too much.
Oh my god.
There's too much, Celeste. Although, so Cal had bought one of the, bundle things a while ago where one of the items was the bank tab expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And he had forgot that he already had the max tabs. And so he was like, oh, well, I have this item that's completely useless.
Ah.
And he's not sure, but he think he destroyed it.
Mm.
And now I'm like, oh, that blows.
He should contact support.
That's what I said. Honestly, he doesn't buy near as much on the gem store as I do. So
yeah,
the going through his records are going to be pretty brief comparatively. So I'm really excited about this. That's all I'm saying.
I have 3 bank tabs and I'm totally fine.
How do you live? I don't understand.
I have mules. They added a new Ironclad appearance pack. This pack includes the Ironclad outfit, the glider, 1 immortal weapon, 1 total makeover kit, and 5 Black Lion chess keys, and it's available for 2,000 gems.
I bought it instantly. Okay, not instantly. So as far as the glider and the outfit, they can also be bought separately.
Which is very good.
Awesome, because the first time they did the bundle, they didn't do that, and then subsequent ones they've been doing this. So the glider is 500 gems, the outfit is 700 gems. I love the keys. I liked the glider. The immortal weapons, always nice to get those. Makeover kit, always nice to get those. At first glance, the outfit is like, meh. But it is really lovely. Like, even you were like, oh, that looks really nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. I just wish somebody brought it up on Reddit, and I'm going to harp on it now. That
What?
That outfits should have more dye channels.
I saw that on Reddit and thought, oh, I wonder if I should point this out to Celeste because she's going to make it a thing. Yeah. I'm honestly, I'm totally fine with the 4, but...
No, I think if you had 6, especially for that one with as many details as it has, I feel like that would be better.
Yeah. Ultra's saying that on the human it's funny looking. I prefer it on the women humanoid forms to the males. I find there's just a little bit more cloth on the women, or at least fabric-y, might be leather or something. But I really, as soon as I could kind of see the detail on Allona when I previewed it, I thought, you know what? I think this could look really awesome. And it is. It's pretty... It's a bit of a sleeper because it looks very plain at first blush, but it's really quite nice.
It's very plain on men.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't looked at it before. You lose most of the details.
I need to try it on a character and try different dyes because we were talking about this earlier, Celeste, during the day.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times with these outfits and armors in general, dyes can make or break it for your personal preference. Like, I will have seen any number of things where I won't like it, but I'll see it dyed a certain way and I'm like, oh, I really like that now. So I can no longer judge. I won't judge until I can actually try it.
Yeah, it loses a lot of the nice details on the male characters. Like, it just kind of looks generic Hulkbuster-esque.
Although, you could totally do Iron Man cosplay with it.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Which was the first thing I thought when I saw it on a guy.
The bunny ears have returned.
And the internet and Reddit went wild.
Yeah, now people are asking for the eyeglasses, which I agree. We should get the eyeglasses back. But...
Yeah, but they weren't out of this gem store for as long as the bunny ears.
No, not by a long shot.
So those are 200 gems. I bought them.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a, well, gotta have them back proponent. I mean, I'm glad they were brought back. Totally glad they were brought back. But I'm just a skin hoarder. Keep them. Because they're only around for 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
This actually reminded me that something I wanted to talk about last week. So the week prior, I was chatting in-game with Noggin Bonker, who is actually in chat tonight, and they were asking me what I thought if they returned stuff like the wizard's hat or some of the more exclusive things and bunny ears to the gem store.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they returned them to the game. And I said, honestly, a lot of those items were promotional.
Yeah.
And if they returned, they'd be returning to the gem store and people would have to pay for them. So I would have no problem with it. That's not a huge deal for me. And I said, I was worried that the community might freak out. Like the people, I've had this since the beginning and it's my right to be exclusive, sort of.
Yeah.
So I was a little worried about that, but no one. And honestly, once they made the wizard hat dyeable, I'm like, okay, they wouldn't make it dyeable if they weren't returning it.
Yeah.
And they did. So it's funny that all these things we talked about are like coming in like one after the other. So keep an eye out for the ball cap.
And the PvP skins that have been out for forever.
Yeah. Keep your eye out for but those weren't promotional. Like we were talking more the
I know.
The t-shirt tonic. Which should be out. Tonic should be outfits. Just laying it out there. Tonics should be outfits.
Yep.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah. For improvements, bundles of items in the gem store will no longer be affected by sales on the items inside them and will not consume the individual sale if purchased. Total purchase limits still apply.
Perfect. That I could totally see how if you bought the bundle, but I don't know why you'd need to buy it again. Or was it that if you bought the individual item, you couldn't buy the bundle anymore?
I believe that's what was happening.
But why would you buy, unless you were trying to gift it? I don't know.
But it's a thing that happened and now it's fixed. So
But the sale item thing is important, that's for sure.
Yep.
There were bug fixes to prevent players from being unable to start their personal story. The Royal Terrace Pass and Captain's Airship Pass can no longer be used while in the first personal story instance. I understand all those words individually. I'm not quite sure what they mean together.
Basically, they wanted to keep you from being able to access a free bank while you were there at your first starting instance.
You know what I mean? Yes, that makes sense.
If you went to like the airship and then you talked to the guy and mapped out to LA, there's no way for you to finish that personal story instance.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah. That's good to block that off then.
Yep.
The butterfly harvesting flute now properly grants swiftness when used with an item booster.
Okay.
Actually, I have that, and that will be nice. Because it feels slow, actually. Harvesting off of it feels slower than other tools. Unauthorized visitors to Havoc's Air will now be forcibly removed. Please have your pass available up for inspection. And what was happening?
I don't know.
How could you even get up there if you weren't able to get up there?
I have no idea. Maybe it's like if somebody had a temp one
and they just
stayed up there. Maybe.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah. Although I'm hoping that the shared slots trick still works.
Yeah. Ultra saying there's a bug with that now, and if you can't use that pass in Gandharn Fields anymore, teleport to a friend, waypoint to a friend. Oh, that's how people would get up there.
Got it.
Interesting. The other thing I noticed on Reddit, they talked about you were listed as red enemy to all the NPCs on board the ship. So I'm wondering if that's how they get you out. We kill you.
Oh, well, it is a pirate's airship, so yeah, why not?
There were some undocumented changes. I have not confirmed one of them. The first one I saw, it was in the Reddit thread for the patch notes that the cloth rack in Radasum has been moved. I have not fact-checked that yet. I'm trusting some random Reddit user for this. I probably should have checked it before the show. And the secret dailies that we talked about last episode, where we said, we don't really think this is a working as intended thing. It looks like that hole's been plugged. Earlier today, we both did the Frozen Maw, which was the low level grayed out daily. And neither of us got daily credit for it.
Yeah.
And shortly before the show, Hunter checked it for me. I can't remember which zone it was now, but he did the 4 events and did not get credit for the daily. So Wah, wah.
Yeah, looks like that's done.
Yep, it was nice while it lasted, but too good to be true.
Yeah.
Not there anymore. And I'm not sure whether this was supposed to be in there or it got put in by accident. But in the glider preview pane with the ironclad glider, there is also another glider that shows up there, and it's a bubble glider, which looks awesome.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm definitely going to buy it when it comes, just because I really like it.
You know, you can dye other gliders.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you could dye that one. So you could be like in a pink bubble.
That would be really cute.
Or a blue bubble.
Could cosplay as Glinda the Good Witch.
Yes. Romo saying for the other one, the one thing we don't want them to fix gets fixed right away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Zero saying Steve confirmed.
Yeah.
For the bubbles.
For the bubbles.
Steve. Good old Steve McBubbles. Yellow bubble. Oh my God, Romo. You would. Oh. So, you take something beautiful and make it awful.
There was a bug that was introduced with today's patch as well. It's having to do with shaders, and you may have noticed that your character looks
dull.
Not necessarily as shiny. And they're working on it. They've been looking into it. They're testing a fix to see if it'll work. But yeah, it's just kind of, everything looks just kind of...
I found this on the forum, but also on Reddit, because someone was posting screenshots of their celestial armor right beside, before and after the patch. And it was like, celestial! Oh, it's glorious and gleaming, and it's kind of gray, dingy. Just decidedly uncelestial looking.
Yeah, it just kind of went like, not a good thing.
And if you paid for celestial, you want celestial effects.
Understandably.
Guild chat this week was from South by Southwest. We're not really going to go over it other than it happened. There wasn't an awful lot new discussed, but if you're interested, we'll have a link in the show notes.
Yeah.
I do have one thing to say about it. And I'm terrible because I don't remember the gentleman's name. It's one of the game directors that we've not really... I think
Stephen Waller?
Yeah, he's written posts before, but I've never heard him talk before. He was really good. I thought he had a really good presence for being on the panel. And Leah, of course, is always amazing. Like, they're all good, but I always like it when they have... When they're showing obvious... passion might be too strong a word, but, like, enthusiasm.
Yes.
For the game that they're working on. So if you want to see people who enjoy their jobs, watch South by Southwest Guild Chat.
Yeah. From this, I learned that she worked on a ton of games that I enjoy.
Who's she?
Leia Hoyer.
Okay.
Surviving the Mists.
Now recruiting for the Battle for the Mists. Is your life a dead end? Looking for meaning? I have the answer to your existential dilemma right here.
Welcome to Surviving the Mists. Hello, everybody. It's really good to be back. It feels like forever. What's it been, like a month and a half almost?
At least.
Sorry I couldn't be here, but March is one of my busier months. We have the musical, and I have to direct the pit orchestra, and so it's busy. I'm glad to be back, and it's a really, really exciting time for PvP right now, and that's pretty much what we're going to be focusing on. I mean, I guess we've pretty much been focusing on PvP the last 6 months-ish, because World v World is just kind of, it's the same. Happening. Yeah, they've got this big update coming, but they're all cloak and dagger about it, or just behind the veil still. So
yeah,
I guess we'll chill out till then. We're going to be talking about PvP, the ranked arena, the leagues, the pro scene, how that's going. We're also going to be discussing the topic of conditions and how to deal with condi pressure.
No, don't try to deal with it. Just take it in.
Just take it in. Accept the love.
This is how we say, I love you.
One of you fans out there, take this show and cut out parts of it. I want an Allona soundboard. Because some things were just said that I think would be great for a soundboard.
This is true.
Oh. I am a walking soundboard.
You really are.
You think this is put on for the show? No. No.
Well, let's start with the Guild Wars 2 Pro League. It started back up yesterday. Very exciting, except for EU, because only 2 of the 4 scheduled matches actually happened. I don't know the details. I saw people jabbing at the EU team car crash that they couldn't get enough players.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true or not. So only 2 of the 4 matches were played. Orange Logo versus Car Crash didn't happen. Vermilion versus More Guns Than Roses happened, and Vermilion won that. Purple Noise beat out Super Smash, and the Civilized Gentleman did not fight Rank 55 Dragons. Over in NA, we had a little bit more exciting. Team Peasy beat E-Dream. Final Form beat Gems and Tonic. And Easy Peasy, Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy beat out Spooky. And then the Abjured versus Never Lucky. It says on the Reddit post it's TBD, but I saw on a page it looked like the Abjured beat Never Lucky 2-1. I don't know what the official thing is, but I saw a snippet somewhere that they won. I didn't even know that match occurred yet. So that's where it stands. If some of these teams sound kind of unfamiliar to you, like E-Dream and Gems and Tonic, these are teams that weren't there last season, but they're kind of put together with some of the people that were on the pro scene before. You know, teams just kind of fall into relegation, get reformed. That's pretty much what happened. We're one day into the pro season. Unfortunately, I didn't watch any of the matches. I was PvPing with a buddy instead and just said, I'll watch them on YouTube. But I'm sorry, guys. I should have watched the live stream so that I could tell you all about them, but I just didn't. So my apologies there.
Meh.
Let's move on and talk about Condi pressure, because this is a really big deal right now in PvP and World v World. Just because Necros are so strong right now, Condi Mesmers are very good right now. There's all this conditions being applied on the battlefield, and conditions are scary. So conditions are an ever-present nightmare in PvP. How do we deal with condition pressure? First, you need to look at all your condition management options within your build. First off, you have your utilities. These are easy sources of condition management. They fire the skill typically, and you have Condi clears and other effects with them. These can often be combined with your traits. This is another form of Condi management. Not just primary traits, the ones that you get to choose, but also the secondary or sub-traits. There are often sources of Condi management there, and you need to be aware of how to activate those. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know that sometimes you get a Condi clear if some other thing procs, or if you use a certain type of skill, you get as a Condi clear. Like, with Warriors or Guardians, when you use a shout, it also clears a condition. I think is that with a rune? I think it's also with a trait. I'll have to double check that. So my apologies for not knowing that off the top of my head. But you have Condi management within your traits. So be careful when you make your build to find areas where you have Condi management within your traits. And then combo fields. Now these aren't so obvious, and they're kind of difficult to pull off. Now, blasting water fields gives AoE heal to you and your allies, and using a leap finisher in a water field gives personal healing. Both of these are good to help mitigate both condition and direct damage pressure. A nice trick, though, is to use a whirl or projectile finisher in a light field. Projectile finishers will remove a single condition from you, and a whirl finisher will send out cleansing bolts. Mm-hmm. I'm a little biased because Scrapper is like my main thing right now. The meta Scrapper build right now uses the Elixir Gun and Hammer. Now, the Elixir Gun 5 skill is a light field, and then the Hammer skill 2 is a whirl finisher. So a good combo is to use the E-Gun 5 skill into Hammer 2 for some extra Condi management.
One of the things I like to do is focus 4 on the Mesmer, and then do the focus 5, because that does the light cleansing bolts off of your Phantasm.
Oh, yeah. Pretty slick.
Because, the 4 is a light combo field.
Yeah. Thank you, Romo. Pura voice in the honor trait line for Guardians there. And also, I don't know why I didn't think of this. HGH on Engineers. All elixirs clear condition, give you might. There's ways you can activate traits almost on every class to clear Condi.
Yep.
And now, beyond your traits, utilities, and combo fields, probably comes one of the more obvious ones, your healing skills. These are probably one of the primary ways you're going to handle Condis. So you're running around in a BL or playing some SPVP, and all of a sudden your beautiful buff bar lights up with more red than Santa's wardrobe. Now, do not panic and use your heal or your Condi clears too early, because there are several classes that have skills that will light you up with conditions, but won't apply very many stacks, or the conditions applied are low or deal no damage, such as like Cripple or Chill, which I guess
Torment.
can do damage on a Necro. Torment actually can do a significant amount of damage, but
yeah, I've never found it.
Okay. Well, I guess Torment, Poison, Chill, Cripple, they're almost negligible. Just a couple stacks of Bleeding, a couple stacks of Burning can still do a lot of damage. But really, if you see tons of conditions appear on you at one time, don't panic, because that means that they just use one skill that applies a ton of conditions. Now, I can't think of a single skill in the game that applies a lot of conditions and then a lot of stacks of them. There's just really not a skill like that in the game.
Mm-mm.
Typically, a skill that applies lots of stacks of something only applies one or two conditions. So don't panic when you see all those conditions light up. Just kind of wait a second, like take a quarter second, half second, even a full second. Look at the stacks on you and then see how quickly your health is diminishing, because oftentimes you can kind of just wait that out, or just save your Condi clears for when those stacks increase, because when you're playing a Condi damage class, that's something that you try to make your opponent do. You try to make them panic. You try to make them...
Is that still true if it's a Necro applying them?
Yeah, because Necros, even though they can apply consistent condition damage, they still have clear Condi spikes, opportunities where they can apply like a lot of damage to you. And so a lot of it is just kind of waiting for when you feel or see or experience that spike. And that's when you want to use your clears and your heals. They can apply steady condition damage, just like anyone with a sword running up to you can whack you in the face and apply steady direct damage, but that's not their burst. It's kind of similar with conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically, just don't get baited into blowing your Condi clears or healing too early. That's all I have prepared for discussion today. Should we move on to the challenge in the game?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Everyone is complaining about, well, sorry, I shouldn't say everyone, but Reddit and the forums, Reddit and the forums have been kind of this steady dirge of complaining about boredom, like the lack of content, yada, 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 yada. All you bored people out there, let's take this lack of content to focus on perfecting our gameplay, essentially. This challenge is called the Big 50. Now, what I want you to do is take one of the meta builds and play 50 games with this. Now, why do this? 50 games isn't a whole lot. If you think about that, like 2 games is a grand total of a half hour. If it takes a long time to get in and then they're long games, total of half hour. That's like probably less time than you spend in Lion's Arch fiddling with your wardrobe each day. So just take...
If you're Allona.
Yes.
Like 2 games is a half hour. So you could do this in 25 days. 50 games isn't a whole lot, but it's enough to get comfortable with a build, to know its ins and outs, its strengths and weaknesses, and also how you can adjust a part of it to suit your own play style. Now you have 1 month to play 50 matches. Like I said, it's 2 per day, less than 30 minutes. You can do it, you will do it, and you'll get better. I'm actually working on Revenant myself. I'm up to match 46 with it, and I've really been enjoying it. I started with the meta build, I studied it, and I've kind of tailored it to my own personal playstyle. I don't use a shield now, I use the axe. This is, like, I'm not telling you guys to be like me, but I think that this is a healthy strategy. I want you to...
You're making it the challenge, so you are saying be like you.
You know what? Yes. Satisfy my ego. Satisfy my ego. My hands are up in the air. I'm spinning in my chair. Satisfy my ego.
Would you say, like, if someone wanted to do it in World versus World, not that people are doing it, or do you want this exclusive to PvP?
Exclusive to PvP. You know why? Because World v World is dead. If you try to do this in World v. World, if you try to build a World v. World, I'm just kidding. World v. World isn't dead. The top tier servers are still pretty active, but this is a focus on PvP because right now the ranked season is going on, and if you want to get better with your class, this is how you're going to do it. PvP is where you need to be because World v. World, yeah, that's really great. You fight as a group, but you don't get the combat experience that you do in PvP. There are so much more fight opportunities.
Very true.
Well, yes. Does
that satisfy you?
You're absolutely right.
Thank you. That was also really good for my ego. I'm exactly right. Be exactly like me.
50 matches is a lot, though. I'm going to say that right now. I'm probably not going to get to 50.
You can do it. 2 a day. And the rewards are pretty decent. If you're doing ranked, the rewards are pretty decent.
They're good unranked, too, to be honest. I have a small confession to make before we move on to the game.
Sure.
I have not played a single ranked match this season.
That's cool.
I just haven't.
Romo says 1 per week. Deal?
I love that chat room is negotiating the challenge.
I would like this done by the end of April.
50 for me is a lot. Just there's a lot of life things happening. So
what if so I'm negotiating now on behalf of listeners. What if it's you play matches until you get the aha moment?
Aha? Sure.
Right. Okay,
I can do with that.
I get this build, I get its playstyle, and I feel comfortable changing it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. just in case people want to but the thing is, you're saying it takes about 50 matches. So even by saying here's our variables, it's probably still going to be 50 matches.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, 50 matches is on the low end. Like for I'm going to tell you,
I've played one match in the last month.
This is going to sound totally elitist, but if you're an avid PvPer, 50 matches, you'd be like, okay, I'll be done in a week. It's not that much, but I understand there are a lot of listeners that are very casual with PvP. So if you don't get to 50, that's totally fine. I just want you to have a better experience with your class. Look at some of these meta battle builds and tailor it to yourself. So once you have that aha moment, I think I said aha. Once you have that aha moment, that's the objective. So if it takes all 50, it takes all 50. If it doesn't, then you're a boss.
Got it.
Awesome. Love it. I like the flexibility.
I do as well.
It's not a homework. It's a fun challenge. Mm-hmm. And it's not like you're doing anything else with your time right now. All you people complain about lack of content.
I have way too much to do still. I am totes not one of the complainers.
Yeah. I have so much to do. I've gotten overwhelmed and decided to start playing Guild Wars 1.
Oh. What?
That's what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing. That's horrifying.
Okay.
You got scared into just regression.
Basically, yes.
There's just too much sensory overload. I'm going back to the good old times.
Basically, yeah. That's kind of what happened today.
It's like going camping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything is easier in your home, but you're doing it in a fabric house out in the middle of the forest. Because it's simpler.
Okay, shall we move on to the game?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This one I'm pretty excited about. So, here's the deal. The Ministry of Entertainment in Divinity's Reach has decided to build a theme park in one of the Maguma maps. You are to decide which map this theme park will be in, and additionally, you will describe some of the big features of this theme park. Features may include, but are not limited to, rides, roller coasters, bizarre attractions, food, drinks, and shows.
And keep it clean.
Yes, absolutely. Peggy 13,
with the bizarre attractions.
Yeah. The bunny ears just went on sale. I don't want any bunny ear attractions here, people.
No, I know. We got you.
Okay. I didn't want to have to explain that.
No, we got the subtext there. Yeah, PG-13.
Peggy
worst,
13.
Please.
Yep.
I love the
that moment where Allona.
Oh, it was like you had the I can't even sigh.
Yep.
So when you mean Maguma maps, you're specifically talking about the new Heart of Thorns maps.
Yeah.
Well, because like Maguma Jungle, and then there's Maguma Wastes.
Yeah, when I was typing that up, I thought that Maguma had a better flow to it than the Heart of Thorns maps. You know,
Yeah.
like if you're building an amusement park, you wouldn't want to say we built this on our exclusive Heart of Thorns map. You would want to say we built this in the Heart of Maguma.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, thank you, Ultra, for returning and helping us with surviving the mist and giving us lots to think about and to play with tons of matches.
My pleasure.
Did you say tens of matches? Like five tens of matches?
5 tens of matches, yes.
Tales of Tyria.
It's not this weekend, but it is upcoming, April 16th, on North American, European, and Guild Wars 1 servers. There is going to be the annual MS Toga Party, and if you don't know anything about it, go and read their post. Multiple sclerosis is a terrible, debilitating disease, and it's worth your time and attention.
Yep.
I personally know people that have it, and it's horrifying.
Yeah, people do a lot of planning and good work for this, and
they deserve your attention.
Mm-hmm. There was a post on Reddit that someone had uploaded their video with playing Guild Wars 2 with the Oculus Rift.
Mm-hmm.
The video has some cursing.
Yes.
And I'm not going to lie, I got a massive headache just watching it.
I surprisingly did not.
I get such a bad headache from virtual reality and 3D items, but I thought, well, maybe this won't be a problem. Nope. It was like halfway through, I'm like, oh, my brain.
Well, and I'm sure some people were interested to see how he had managed to make it work, so I went ahead and linked up to the Reddit thread, and he explains how he got everything working, and it looks cool.
Yeah, and it was really nice to hear how impressed he was with it. Like, I mean, obviously, watching a video of someone, it's not as impressive, I'm sure, as being, air quotes, there.
Yeah.
Because it's virtual, but, you know, he seemed genuinely enthralled with how attractive and beautiful everything was.
Which is certainly something that you would hope with something like the Oculus Rift. Now, to move along to something a little bit more lighthearted, for April 1st, there's already a speculation thread going on Reddit. I like a lot of them. I hadn't realized, but I think I really still like Sit Jump. I know it's a stupid thing. It's like, you wouldn't even immediately notice it for April 1st, but I think I want Sit Jump.
Although, yeah, it needs to be in your face. Zephyr GW2, they get me. They went straight for the googly eyes. Googly eyes. Woo!
I also would be happy with the return of stick figures.
Yeah, I actually posted to it because I was thinking, and they totally won't do it. It is far too much effort, but I thought it would be really fun if all the characters, like, there would only be one for human and one for male, obviously, but using Guild Wars 1 style models. And you're covered for all the races except for Sylvari, so I was thinking they could just be seeds floating around.
I like it.
So I thought, actually it wouldn't be. If you just had one model for each gender and everyone was that would be fine.
Yeah, I mean, you could turn everybody into commandos.
The commando one was so good.
I know.
Chat is fighting over other options. But
going back to googly eyes, there was a Sylvari bug that somebody had posted onto Reddit, and it's kind of like they have dead eyes. Like there's no eyes in the eye socket.
It is horror-inducing. It is nightmare-inducing. It is terrifying.
But like that could have totally been a case where they were testing googly eyes behind the scenes.
It looks like the holes your soul gets sucked into.
It does. It does.
And not in a eyes are the windows to the soul sort of like lovely, pleasant way.
No.
No, Japanese horror film way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Says the person who's never watched any.
I haven't either, but
I don't do horror films.
I don't watch horror movies that often.
Considering this bug terrified me. It's not surprising.
So, I don't know. I think googly eyes could work. I like the idea of it anyways. Okay, so thank you, Allona.
Thanks, Celeste. And Ultra.
And thank you, chat room, for hanging out with us.
Yes.
Thank you for downloading the show. We hope that you enjoyed it. We hope that you come back again next week. But most importantly, we hope to see you in game.
Legion calls.
So if you have a community event that you would like for us to share, go ahead and send us an email.
Seize the moment.
And if you've got a burning question or for our Ask an Azura segment, just let us know.
I'm selling. You buying?
We have coupon codes for Doghouse Systems. Use the coupon code MMO Reporter at doghousesystems.com to get an additional 120 gigabyte Super Star Destroyer drive for free on their next build.
Nice gear.
Or a star-studded diaper.
Or a star-studded diaper.
Yep.
No free samples.
Patreon page. If you're in love with the show or the network, please consider becoming a patron on our Patreon page.
Thanks for pitching in.
In the very least, it helps us keep the metaphorical lights on. So check it out at patreon.com/MMOReporter.
That fulfills my needs. Thanks so much.
audibletrial.com/MMOReporter. Books!
Books, now with sound!
Knowledge is the greatest treasure.
If you want a free audiobook, you should go to audibletrial.com/MMOReporter.
That's valuable.
So, Allona, if people want to get in contact with us, how would they do so?
They would email us at gwreporter@MMOReporter.com. Twitter is @GWReporter. Our website is guildwarsreporter.com.
You must visit more often.
Voicemail is 616-666-6778 or use the widget on the right-hand side of the website. Our YouTube channel is MMO Reporter Network, and remember to like our videos and subscribe to the GW Reporter playlist. And if you feel like it, wander around and see what other shows are on the network that you might enjoy.
You are a welcome guest.
Facebook is GW Reporter. Tumblr is gwreporter.tumblr.com.
In a world where you can visit us on Twitter, I am Ultra at UltraTown.
Find me at Hunter's Insight.
Allona may be found at One Big Pair.
As in PEAR.
And Celeste at Selly Uki.
CELEOOKIE.
Yeah. Or you can visit us in game. I'm onebigpair.1249.
And Ultra is
UltraTown.5683.
And I'm Seliyuki.5046.
May the spirits of the wild watch over you.
Good hunting.
Keep your blade sharp and your powder dry.
Take care of yourself.
May the Six watch over you.
Until next time.
I'm not sure. Something. Sorry. I don't know.
Oh, Romo.
Romo, that's awful. That's really awful. I'm sorry.
I feel bad too, but it's funny because it's something I would do.
Yeah.
I'm laughing in sympathy.
I would totally do that as well.
Oh my god.
Ouch.
All right.
Yeah.
Romo, do we have permission to read this out loud? Because actually, I'm going to read it out loud, and if he says no, we can cut it from.
Oh, it's completely off topic. It'll be in the bloopers at best.
Rover in chat is saying, OMG, I just spent the last 2 days fighting Shatterer on numerous tunes to get Grumble Cake I need for collection. Just found out it's 21 copper on the trading post.
You poor guy.
This might be my favorite thing ever.
That sucks.
No, don't try to deal with it. Just take it in. This is how we say I love you.
Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Don't forget to check out all the other podcasts at MMOreporter.com or by clicking on any of the links here. And please check out our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MMOreporter. Thanks, everyone, and see you in game.